guys, welcome back to another video. So today we are finally going to be tackling one of the, drawing your suggested characters video, but it is going to be series theme. So this is going to be the first one that I'm going to be doing that's going to be focused on only like one series of characters, and I think I'll kind of like flip back and forth between picking a few that was suggested that are like kind of like one-off characters here and there, and then picking ones that have been like suggested a lot that are particularly from one like series. It could be like an anime or a show or like a game or something like that. But I was struggling a lot to even get back into like the, out of the art funk. So let's go ahead and start off with a new canvas. I'm going to go in my miscellaneous folder, and I do have a version where I did start this particular series. So technically we are going to be doing one that is, let me check this first. Let's do 14 by 10 because apparently that's what I've been using for some of the previous ones that I've done. But we are going to be working on Alien Stage today. So Alien Stage, I will leave like a little blurb on the screen if you're interested on a very brief summary. I don't really want to give you spoilers or anything. I highly recommend if you are interested in kind of that premise that you kind of go in fresh. So let's start off with Hyuna first because she is the character that I've drawn for a previous session that I've already done of this drawing your suggested character series. After that, we'll kind of move through the rest of our main cast because I tend to do about 7 characters total. I will most likely be able to fit all of the main cast because I believe there's like 6. So let's start off with Hyuna and then we'll kind of like branch off and fill the rest of our canvas. So at this point, I'm kind of hoping I'm out of the art funk right now. Also, if you see the band-aid, it's kind of like awkwardly placed on my finger. I wrapped it in such a way so that I can still like pinch and zoom and like color pick with my finger, but I accidentally pressed too hard on a spoon because I was holding it like this, pressing down a cream cheese mixture, and my finger slipped. Basically, the edge of the spoon caught my nail and pushed my nail all the way up. Not like all the way up, like a good, just the front portion of it. And because it cut right into my skin, it started to bleed. Apologies if that's a little bit too gross for some people, but that's the reason why I have a band-aid. And it's not because it's bleeding, it's mostly to prevent the nail from lifting too much and getting caught because it really hurts, and when it does get caught, it bleeds again. What kind of pose? We could do something a little bit more dramatic. So for the references that I chose, I am kind of drawing their, I think their main outfit, or like their outfit that you frequently see them in terms of like fan art and stuff. I was maybe going to pick like their most recent performances, but I feel like it would give spoilers. Let's give her more of a fiercer look. I'll kind of like shrink her eyes down a bit too. So Hyuna is one of my favorite characters, as well as I think one of her songs is probably the one that I listen to the most. So to not to delve into it too much, I think All In by Hyuna, as well as Blink Gone are my favorite songs. I truly do love all the songs though, but I think like those ones are the songs that I listen to just the most. There's obviously songs that I would listen to like depending on my mood or like the situation. So apologies that I put this particular video off for so long. Maybe I want more of her back exposed. So basically, even though like today, this is not like the first drawing that I've done, I've been mostly doing like rough sketches, but I feel a little bit more confident compared to my attempts at this kind of earlier on in the month, because this is technically the 3rd time I was trying to record a session like this. Maybe her arm will be... her shoulder blade kind of in. She's kind of wearing like a tank top, I guess, so we can probably block that in. So I think the problem that I had for like the previous attempts was definitely during the coloring process. I just didn't really want to finish any drawings to like the full extent. I was like having an okay time, probably with the sketching portion. So I am a little bit worried. Different kind of pressure, I guess. Doing fan art sometimes puts a weird amount of pressure on like sometimes making things like look correct or like trying to represent like a character like absolutely correct, if that makes sense. Maybe I won't drop her arm. I feel like it's making it look a little bit. Trying to make sure I don't draw her too out of character. I always worry like when I'm drawing fan art that I make them look too like not themselves. I just feel like these mics look interesting. Okay, so let's start off with this for Hyuna. So I'm gonna change this to multiply. And with some of like the previous sessions, I don't end up making duplicates of the sketch if I remember correctly. So let's pray and hope that this kind of works out in my favor. And then we'll kind of do each of the drawings probably on their own separate layers and then merge as we go if we see fit. So I'm using the kind of like lasso selection tool to help me block in our figure. So connected, fill this in, and then we can kind of fix the silhouette. So I'm going to take color fill off. So take color fill off and we can kind of fix our silhouette a little bit. So selecting these areas and then erasing. So with this color kind of already blocked in, I'm going to alpha lock it so that when we add in our subsequent colors and shadows and all that, we don't have to worry about the colors kind of like leaving the area that I've already placed down. So these are going to be like colored sketches. I will be rendering them just a smidge and kind of cleaning them up a little bit, but we're not going to do too much. So her hair is a dark brown. So I'm going to start off with our base. When it comes to like sketching, or like I simplify things, miss some details, anything like that, then I can kind of fix it up when we start to So for the most part, yeah, the coloring is a little bit more on the simple side. I am being a little bit messy with this. I'm not gonna be too concerned. More shadow colors. Okay, so for our sketch, I'm going to alpha lock the lines. We're going to erase some of the miscellaneous areas that we don't really want to have too many, like either guidelines, sketchy lines, whatever. Because I still want to make this look a little bit more on the cleaner side if I can. Okay, so I'm gonna merge. Actually, let's add a little bit of highlights before we merge. Okay, so now I'm just gonna merge it. And this is kind of what we're going to be working with. I know she looks a little bit funky. Let's hope we can kind of fix it up a little bit. So this is starting off where we are going to be doing our cleaning and some rendering. So I'm trying to sharpen up some areas here and make sure that they look and kind of read correctly. Sometimes I feel like this tends to be the more boring part. So for the remaining characters from Alien Stage, I have not drawn them before, like at all. So Hyuna's really the only one that I've kind of like remotely sketched out before. Hopefully she's gonna become a little bit more recognizable. I might want to take a look at how much I rendered for the other sessions. I think they weren't too badly done, so this one's gonna require a little bit more work. There's a lot of things I want to get done before March ends. I can't wait to show some of you guys some of the things I want to plan out. Gonna fix up her brows, and then we'll kind of continue on one of the biggest parts that I'm gonna have an issue kind of liking, which is the hair. So the shape of it's not my favorite, at least like how I've drawn Hyuna's hair. Darken up some of these areas as well. So for the sketch pages, it is easier for me to chunk in flatter colors and then have some bolder lines to make the illusion that it looks kind of cleaner than it actually is. Okay, I think we are gonna say Hyuna is done. I will try my best to make the other ones not too bad, because I don't hate this one of Hyuna. It's not my favorite, obviously, and it's still quite like chunky and messy compared to some of my other attempts when I... So for the next character, after Hyuna, I am probably gonna draw Luca next. So out of all the characters, I think Luca has one of my favorite voices other than Till. But Luca's character, how do I want to draw him? Maybe we'll put him in like the bottom right, and then we can put somebody in the middle. So I think I might go with his slightly longer-ish hairstyle. I have a vague idea of what I want to draw his pose, I guess, to be. Some lashes for our pretty boy. I probably should have mentioned this at the very beginning. If you don't like kind of messed up concepts, Alien Stage might be too much for you. Otherwise, I highly recommend Alien Stage. Okay, let's give him a little bit more of a slight Ikemen face rather than giving him full baby round. He's gonna look a little funky. Make him face more upwards, maybe. Maybe make him have like more of an open smile. Shrink his face a little bit more. Okay, so for hand positioning, it's this way. The bend. Hope I can draw this. It always feels weird to have to position or like do the pose yourself. I'm just gripping this one. Similar manner. But if you guys know of Alien Stage, which I know a lot of you do, I remember posting about it like very briefly, and people were like, oh, like, you know Alien Stage? I didn't think you would know Alien Stage, because I kept it very on the not on the download, I guess. Like, I wasn't hiding that I knew Alien Stage. I just wasn't really like actively talking about it, just because it's one of those fandoms that I like to be kind of like on the sidelines. My friend that I talk about Alien Stage with, we have similar tastes and similar favorite characters. I feel like we have similar preferences, I guess, when it comes to characters. There is like a little bit of difference. Like I tend to like cuter, sweeter characters, and she likes kind of more older brotherly type, kind of. Like if you had to break it down to like IQ characters, I like Suga a lot more, and she likes Daichi. So kind of like older brother captain type. Maybe I won't give him his longer hair. I do find Luca very pretty though. No spoilers, but some stuff about Luca. I would love to do more like an official piece of fan art of Alien Stage and not just these sketches. I think I scrapped the footage of me explaining what I was trying to do for this because I wasn't gonna do maybe a sketch page for the Alien Stage ones and maybe do more of a like a full illustration, but until I can like fully plan it out, maybe I'll like turn it into a different kind of session that we can do like more of a finished piece. I don't know if I want it to be so death grippy. But this is kind of what we're going for. I kind of wish I didn't put it around his neck-ish area, just because I do like the outfit. But yeah, out of all the characters, his voice, like kind of like his vocal color is probably the better way I can explain it. It's kind of like my favorite out of all the characters. I think if you have been seeing like, I guess like some of my Instagram stories, I talked about like the new wave of Niji Sanji as well. And there is one of the members that their singing voice I just absolutely love. Not only that, it's like a plus that like seems like a very adorable person. Like he's very easy to listen to. So I'll probably definitely just watch more of his streams in general. And so far all of them have been super enjoyable. But Calyx, I don't know, his voice, his singing voice is just, the way he sings Souvenir was so good. Once again, we are going to fill in colors here by using the selection tool. Also highly recommend, even if you don't like the premise of Alien Stage, check out like some fan art or just like even the official art and stuff, because I feel like the style is very pretty. Alpha lock, and we can get started with, this is not set to multiply. I don't know what people are gonna like interpret from this fan art. What kind of person do you think Luca is? Unfortunately, I do think Luca is probably one of the easiest characters to draw out of Alien Stage for myself. With that being said, there is a few characters that I am scared to draw. So I can lightly kind of drop this in. Which I don't really do a lot of characters who have like super bright eye colors like this, so I don't want to accidentally lose it. Then we have a lot of white for his outfit, which I might add stay into blue. So for his hair, similar to his eyes, it's like quite light, so I don't really want to put too much dark colors that might stray his hair color to be too dull and dark. I might add a little bit of purple. Do you want it to be a little bit more dull? His nose area. So I'm gonna take advantage of using some of the darker purple color here as our darkest color. Merge down. He kind of looks like Jonghan from A1 days, so like Don't Want to Cry, because it's kind of like white outfit, a little flowy, also blonde hair that's like this length. Reminds me of Jonghan. So to kind of keep the transparency of our hair that's cutting through the eyes a little bit. I do like darkening up only the lash line that's like not being covered by the hair and letting that place be a little bit on the lighter side. And if you can also just go over a little bit with all of it. I do like leaving a little bit of the indication of it. I do this with eyebrows sometimes too. So for these sketches, like I mentioned, when I'm doing like the cleanup and the kind of like rendering phase, it is more on the simple side. But then areas like this, I do like having a little bit of a sense of depth by having the lines be not like dark throughout, but also like having thicknesses and line weight variation contribute to that. The YouTube videos, I guess I can say, for Alien Stage tells like a lot of the story. There is like a lot that's like behind the Patreon stuff. So if you have a chance to read the comic, you'll get a lot of context. Because I actually don't know if they have like a consistent schedule. Because I did not follow Alien Stage like since the beginning. I think it was like kind of like slapped right in the middle of everything. So there's like definitely some times where it's like a humongous gap, and then other times I feel like the gap wasn't like as long of a wait. Okay, I think we're gonna leave Luca like this. I know it's like super messy still, but I don't know. It's something about the color combination maybe that I kind of like the flats with the darker lines, especially like where the hands and faces. I need the next update, I can't. This gives like, I have brain worms from this. Okay, so here's Luca. Let's move on to our next character. So like I said, I am going to be kind of like probably switching back and forth between male, female, male, female. So next up, let's pick one of the girls. I think I'm gonna draw Sua. Place in his eyebrows to see whether or not I need to shift them. Because I did make the other ones still kind of like more or less the concerned eyebrows. So before, after. This one works a lot better. This one's a little bit too happy in my opinion. Okay, so new layer, and we can start off by sketching out something for Sua. See how this works, because I need to make sure I can fit 3 more people. Unfortunately, some of these might be a little bit too small up there. Do I have a vague idea of what I want to do? Kind of, and kind of not at the same time. So right now we're just gonna try to keep things clean. But sometimes having like some stray messy lines can give you ideas. Cute earrings. I don't know, I really like this aesthetic. I think this is kind of like, I think it was Sua. Sua's like the first character I think I saw of Alien Stage. And I thought she was more like old, is it like city 90s J-pop kind of aesthetic? I think it was someone else's like video or something like that that I saw, not from like the official channel. Okay, so her hair. Okay, I'm trying to find a good reference of her hair. She has like such a sweet demeanor. Movement. Do you want to go this way? Maybe I'll like block in her hair shape first. Or do I like? I kind of like this way, I think, more. So I think this is kind of the direction for her hair that we're gonna go with. So even though, like I mentioned when I was working on Hyuna's, I was struggling and fighting my art a little bit when I was working on hers, but as I'm kind of doing more sketching and stuff, hopefully this is kind of like making me feel a lot better, because right now the way I drew Luca was kind of fun, so I didn't really mind the outcome of his. Same with Sua right now. Hers has been very fun to draw, even though it's like a very small piece, I guess. I guess we could do that. She don't mind this. So her dress. Maybe I won't. I think whoever I put here, maybe I'll cut into a little bit more into like behind Luca, so we can kind of fill up the space. We'll see how this works. So set this to multiply. So she's wearing gloves, so there's not really that much exposed skin here. A lot of this will be kind of like I'm gonna use like a yellowy color as the base for her entire outfit here. This kind of blue to do her shadows. This also might be a gap that I want here. Okay, her earring might not actually be visible once we actually add in the hair color, because it might be crossing in front of her ear, so it shouldn't be. Is it My Clematis is the song title? Such a pretty song. But I always get the melody of it, I feel like, off towards the end of the song, or like a certain part of the chorus, I guess, because I mix it up with, if anyone's like a fan of Macross Frontier, I forget which one it is. It's the one with like Ronka Lee and Shirley, I think. There's a song in that I feel like follows a very similar, to a certain extent, or at least it gives me a similar vibe. I know nothing about music, so the things I'm saying probably don't even make sense. Added a little bit more into her outfit. I think it's just the aesthetic of the reference I'm using that I'm pulling specific colors, because technically Sua's hair is just like pure black, but the lighting of the reference kind of has like a more teal blue color lighting. Maybe that makes a little bit more sense, because I feel like I have too many splits in her hair. Okay, so for line art for my sketch, so let's go ahead and change this to be warmer. So for some of the areas that might be touched by our lighter colors here, I might slowly shift the colors a little bit, and then the darker kind of like navy bluish color that we had for our sketch earlier, we can kind of let it remain. Okay, so merge, and we can start to fix her up a little bit. Switch to sharp render. So her hair is probably the favorite part of just like her character design in general. I don't know, it's just the way that it's silhouetted is so pretty. Okay, darken up our eyeline. She's literally so cute. So we have two boys to pick from that are left. So we have Ivan and we have Till. So I'm gonna have to be a little bit careful. So for the eye styles, I think other than Hyuna so far, I'm trying to follow a little bit more closer to the actual art style to a certain degree, just because They have very distinct ways that their eyes are kind of drawn, in my opinion. It might be because, like I mentioned, the video that I think I first saw Sua was more of like that aesthetic. I don't even know if it was Sua. Maybe it was just like me thinking it looked like Sua, but I was still recommended like alien stage stuff after I clicked on it. I've always thought about this. I always wanted a character, like an OC, that had more of like this blunt, shorter hairstyle. I don't know if it's just because the silhouette of it when it's like blowing in the wind or like when it's just like straight down. It's kind of like fun how chunky and choppy it is. Because I definitely debated giving Moriko more like this hairstyle. I gave Moriko a little bit more of like wavy texture. Also having like the lines darker on the outside and then a lot of the details that you kind of want to push back just leaves them like lighter and not as bold. Okay, I think this is all I'm gonna do for Sua, and then I think I'm gonna take a break and we'll come back tomorrow. No, maybe I won't alternate. Maybe I'll put Mizi in the center and then we'll put Ivan and Till at the very top. We'll see, because if not, I'll put Till here. Then Mizi, Ivan might be the order. But yeah, so far, Hyuna, we have Luca, and we have Sua. So I will come back tomorrow. First part of like the little drawing your series requests of characters. So yeah, I'll be right back. Okay, we're kind of starting off a little bit later than I wanted to, but we're continuing from kind of like where I left off. So I think I was gonna alternate between doing like one of the girls, one of the guys, one of the girls, one of the guys, but I think positioning wise, typically when I do like these types of sketch pages, I do like fan out and let like the characters kind of like overlap one another, but I kind of did a weird thing where I kind of skipped over and left this space in the middle blank. So I'm thinking I will actually move on and draw Mizi first, and then we'll draw Ivan and Till probably on the top portion so that we can kind of fill in this center area first. Because I also don't want to fill up too much space so that Ivan and Till won't have enough room. I do know how I want to position Till. Not sure quite yet about Ivan, so I would like to leave enough room. Yeah, maybe we'll sketch her in the front actually. And then we can figure out kind of where the places are going to overlap. So I might shrink her a little bit more so we can kind of fit in her torso, I guess. I don't know, do all of them have like different mics? So then after this we can throw in Till will most likely be, I think, in the upper left, and we'll have Ivan next to him. Larger highlight, similar to Sua. I'm probably gonna like try to filter out some of the characters so that I can do a few more like series like this, because it's kind of fun doing characters from the same series, but it's also nice to do ones that are from a bunch of different ones so you can kind of like get a larger variety of characters. So looking at this, I think I want her to be, so we'll put Hyuna in the front, Mizi behind her, but then she can be in front of Sua and Luca so that we can kind of have her not too covered. Glove that still exposes like part of her palm. And unfortunately, this arm has to be characters who have like more of a middle part. Harder to draw, but hopefully this will be kind of okay. She kind of looks like that one girl in Digimon. Like if she only has like these longer front pieces. I really want to draw like little chibi versions of them. To really like play around with the colors because I think they'll look super cute. So she also has off the shoulder sleeves. So let's color this in dark. I want more hair strands, kind of like similar to Hyuna's hair. The way that like Alien Stage the hair is done, I don't know. I just love how like free it looks. I actually don't remember if me and my friend actually talked about the most recent Alien Stage part. So that I can kind of shuffle over Mizi just a smidge without totally blocking her hand. New layer. Let's get our skin tone. So she's a little bit more, we'll use about Luca's skin tone maybe. It's kind of funny. I have like part of her where I want it to be behind Luca, and then I have part of it where I want it to be in front. So obviously her hand and parts of her hair I want to be in front of Luca. It's more like... So this is technically where her belt is. It kind of makes it look like her torso is really tiny, but hopefully it doesn't look too off. Her hair is such like bubblegum, very saturated, I guess, like carrot colors. Sure to get her hair color correct, because pink is kind of one of those colors that I struggle with sometimes, where it's towards too much of like a purple. Go a little bit more peachier towards like the places that kind of frame her face. Preferences of her have it more like this color. So add more like a shinier material almost to her outfit, because it's quite dark, but it kind of looks like it's more like either velvet or leather. Eyes are yellow, I believe. Mizi's eyes are yellow. Not like yellow similar to like Luca's. Hers is more like a golden kind of yellow color. A little bit of blue to the top. I'm making like I'm making more of like a vibrant pink. I don't know if it's really showing up on camera. So hopefully if you see the end portion, the colors will read a little bit more easier. Almost like a light green for a little bit of shine and highlights in her hair. Add in a bit of highlights and or shines here. Okay, so let's merge and clean up as much as we can. I don't hate this one. I think it's because I found Sua a little bit easier for me to draw eye-wise, so it kind of reads a little bit more like her. I feel like the proportioning's a little funky. Kind of makes sense of her hair a little bit. It's like the other ones. I am taking advantage of making the lines darker to make things stand out and hopefully push back some of my messier lines. Fix the highlights. Actually, let's fix up the darker areas first. So I do like adding a little bit of like either a reflective color, accent color, whatever you want, kind of to the top portion of the iris, kind of where it meets the kind of eye line. Yeah, out of all the characters, Mizi and Suo were probably the first ones I saw. I don't remember if it was because of that, their performance. But I do like doing these kinds of sketch pages just because they do feel a little bit more freeing. Other than like the pressure of doing fan art of a series that like I am familiar with, but like I don't actively participate in the fandom, let's say. Okay, let's grab black. Let's see. We can kind of get this part of her outfit. I think this is supposed to be more like sheer material. Be in front of the hair actually, because you can't really. Actually, it would kind of look funny if it was though. We'll just really make it kind of larger. Unalpha lock that, and then we can add our we're good to move on. So how do I want to do this? Yeah, Luca's was kind of like on the messier side too. I might darken Hyuna's skin tone just a smidge. Do the other two. So Till, I do want to include his guitar, which I forget the name of, to be part of like the pose. So I need to think of where exactly I want to place him, and then that will give me kind of like the remainder of the space that I will have left for Ivan. Also, this is not how she's gonna look. I am going to adjust it, but it's just easier for me to see right now because I'm aware it's a little bit too saturated, a little bit too orangey. Brighten it. Saturation. I think that's more accurate. Okay, moving on. Yeah. So Till, I think. Yeah, we won't have too much room for his face. Or maybe I won't, because I feel like in proportion to everyone else, I think I kind of prefer her to be that size. So I do have a reference of the pose that I wanted, or similar to what I wanted. So I am going to be using it to hopefully plan out. Okay, I think we have the base of the pose I kind of want. So let's draw his face, which I'm nervous to draw. So I mentioned at the beginning, Till is my favorite character. It's also my friend's favorite character as well. And then voice-wise, he's also, I think, one of my favorites. Him and Luca, I think, and Hyuna. Flip it over, because I suck at drawing faces facing the right. So luckily for digital art, I can just flip it. My posture lately has been terrible. I think the con prep has like ruined my back a little bit. So I'll have a few months to kind of recover till the next time I have to do more con prep like that. So you just have the thing on his neck, and I believe it goes up, which I don't know what it's attached to. Is there a name for these types of mics? I feel like I knew it at some point. Okay, he also has rings rings on this hand. I don't know if it's on every finger or if it's missing on his middle finger, but we'll just pop them all on. Fill that in. Hopefully I don't run out of room for Ivan. We are getting a little bit of less space. I could move Sua even more though, if you really needed to. I kind of wish I played an instrument though. It's one of those kids who never really played it. I played clarinet for like a month until I moved schools, and then I wasn't required to take band anymore. I made his guitar a little bit too small. I can't fit the little eyeball in here either. Okay, so I think this is what we're gonna do for Tills. So other than... I always see fan art of Ivan and Till on my timeline because of what people like to describe Alien Stage as is doomed Yaoi, doomed Yuri. And because like other fandoms I'm in, it kind of had like a little bit of a crossover because people were doing like Alien Stage AUs. So I'm gonna make him a little bit more flushed. I think also because like his outfit's very much on kind of like white, similar to Sua, so I do want to add a little bit more warmth into his skin tone. Color his eyes. So eye color for Till. I guess we have like more of that teal-ish color. Kind of like a dark, kind of like warmish gray color for his hair. I feel like I've been doing more of like the rim lighting for theirs rather than just like a normal band of highlights going across. Okay, and then we have the same kind of turquoisey, minty green color. We can start off with that. We'll make it a little bit darker as we move down the neck of... I think this is called the neck, right? Neck of the guitar. Yeah, I think we're good. So alpha lock this. We'll lighten up Till's colors. It's the hand. Let's erase these. Do for dark blue for his eyes. And then we will fix this up. Okay, so let's merge lines down. And we can start to render Till. But since most of his body's actually covering it, we might not be able to see it anyways. Part of me thinks like maybe I am nervous to draw Ivan just because like I haven't really looked at him all that much. Let's keep going with the cleanup. Wow. Okay, let's figure out his hair situation here so I can... try to like section off his hair a little bit more so we can have some of these parts make a little bit more sense. Trying to think what other series I'm gonna do next. I know like Bungo Stray Dogs is one that's like a lot of characters tend to be requested from that series. Obviously Genshin and Star Rail will be like no exception. One of the non-series ones so that I don't have to draw that many Genshin characters that I've already drawn before. I think a lot of characters from Project Sekai, a lot of characters from that is also requested. Okay, so other than probably just the hand, I'll probably put a little bit more effort into the guitar a little bit more before we move on to working on our final character. Yeah, spending so much time on trying to fix up Hyuna. I think I like hers the least right now. I really don't know how I want to draw Ivan. So we want him to be, yeah, probably underneath these two, above. Ooh, how do I do this? I guess I can put Till on the very bottom. Face is more this way. Do we put hand up here? Would this work? Okay, let's see. Let's see his face. Because I don't remember, is he older than, like, Till? Like, who's the youngest, I guess? Because Till's like 21, I think? Lower? Because I do want to include, obviously, his little fang. Yeah, let's fit the body in. Once I figure out how do I how do I position you? Do it like this, I guess. So I don't want his to be too boring. Okay. But I do like Ivan's hair. Not like that, the references that I have, that's like almost like his reference sheet. I can also shrink him. His face is like the largest here. At least how I've drawn him. So we could fit more of his hair. His voice, I don't know what I was expecting for his voice, but it's quite different from what I initially thought his character would have been. But I really like his, dang, I don't remember what the song is called, but it's like one of the slower songs. I really like his voice. Let's quickly add in kind of his shadows here, I guess, for the skin. Give him a little bit of warmth. Add white. He does have a little bit of like red in his eyes, which I will add later. Once again, the mic color is kind of like an off-white. I lean towards more of a blue. His hair is also black, which I'll do something similar to like how I did Sua's hair. So I'll kind of pick a color that will be kind of like their highlights. We'll kind of lean it out of like trying to avoid using only dark gray to lighten up his hair color. Highlights, I'll use something similar to Sua's, but we're leaning it more to kind of like that green color. I don't know, may not look too well, so I'm just gonna simplify his hair. So I'm gonna rely more on contrast for his, because he has such a dark color palette. Okay, back to his eyes. I will add that indication of red. Actually, you can't really see it, so we're just darkening up the lines here, which he has a lot of black. So I don't really mind using also just a lot of black to add contrast here. Because it won't look out of place, if anything. Other ones, like, I would try my best to use like a darker version of a pre-existing color. Okay, and then we need, I think, a red. Which references it? Add it like this, I guess. Then add a tiny little highlight. Okay, hopefully he looks a little less funky. I feel like he still does. It's probably like the ear and jaw placement's so bad. Any Ivan fans, I'm so sorry. I don't know if I like the way I've drawn him here. But then again, I don't like how I drew Hyuna either, so apologies about that as well. I think for all the characters that I've drawn today, not even today, for today's session, I guess, it's probably the same day that you guys are watching it, or like in one sitting. Because I drew this in 2 sittings technically. I took about, I think, 40 minutes per character. Like right now we're at about 30 minutes for Ivan. Give or take. I think some of them were a little bit shorter, some were a little bit longer. Clean up more of his outfit. Now luckily, like I mentioned, because his outfit is more like just pretty dark, his is a little bit easier for me to color in because you can kind of block in a flat and then kind of carve out any highlights if we need to. Okay, let's fix our mic up here. Hopefully this makes sense, that this is like continuing from him. Where on the sketch page that he is, he's kind of behind everybody, which kind of works out because then I can kind of utilize the space around and behind Till. Okay, I think we're pretty much finished though, because I don't think I'm gonna detail his other things that much. My brain's like slowly going. I think we are good. So last thing I'm gonna do before we call today's session done for doing all the alien stage little kind of like main cast, I am gonna make a new layer. We're gonna go back to my sketching brush and we are gonna outline everybody, starting with Hyuna, who is in our kind of our foreground right here. And I'm just gonna do a quick outline. So all the way around. So this really depends on like who's on the front or on top in terms of my layers and who's on the bottom. But I do try my best to make sure that all of them do get some kind of outline so that they can at least pop out from the background. Fill in these little gaps as well. So anything has like a prominent-ish gap, I will outline kind of with the white. So next is Ivan. Sometimes when I'm doing these sketch pages, I will also add text on the top. Maybe I'll write alien stage. We'll see. If not, I think this kind of works on its own. Also forgot that I didn't really render his hand at all. Inside of here. You can see I don't really care if it's really messy. One, it's a sketch page, so it doesn't really matter. Sometimes if like I really go ham with the rendering, I might put the white outline underneath my sketch. And then that way I don't really go over the lines too much in a weird way. Yeah, I think that is it. So hopefully you guys enjoyed watching me kind of go through a weird path of drawing the alien stage characters for today's little drawing your suggested character sketch pages series editions, I guess. Super long name, but let's quickly go through the time lapse for today's little session. As usual, I'll have the kind of more clearer full version at the very end for you guys to see, but hopefully you guys enjoyed watching me just draw and sketch today, and hopefully you either drew or sketched along with me. Do let me know who your favorite character is from Alien Stage. Otherwise, look forward to other series versions in the future, as well as just like the general sketch page version where I'll draw your suggested characters. If you have any more character suggestions, please go to the previous community post. I'll make sure to put the link in a pinned comment or in the description for you guys to follow, and you can drop your characters there so it's easier for me to find. But yeah, I think that's it. I'll talk to you guys next time in the next video though. Bye!